We are the people. We are one with all life. All life is sacred. We are strong. We have the strength that comes from unity with all life. We are love. We know that there is no force in the universe as powerful as love. We know that all love is love. There are no limits. There are no rules. There is only love. From unity comes the strength that allows us to use the power of love to celebrate all life. We are the people. Join us in this celebration of love that makes life beautiful. Yate! The sacred journey starts here. Welcome to Indigenous Pride.
Yate, good afternoon. Hello, everybody. Shea ya already Nelson yen she. Tropon the shlondoki ani e bashichin. Senjikine e dash chedo touching e dash nale. Le base bitore e nasha. Kut all the shle. Good evening, everyone. My name is Already Nelson, and it's an honor to serve as your executive director on my 5th year in this leadership post, taking care of and overseeing the operations for the largest Indigenous Pride celebration in the United States. Welcome to this year's 2023 opening ceremony. Yes. And I welcome you on behalf of the Dene Pride Board of Directors, and we proudly say Hajon Dole is our theme and our motto this year. But before I have any more outs, you'll see later on this evening as I moderate a conversation with several amazing leaders the Dene Pride community chose. First off, we're going to honor tonight our 2 newest scholars as part of our Nas ELID Rainbow Scholarship Program. You'll introduce those 2 young people. In addition to that, you're also going to meet a scholar from last year who's going to share a little bit more about her academic educational journey at her university as she's leaving the recipient of being a scholar for 2022. In addition to that, you also will meet 4 amazing Natani leader honorees. Those also include the Navajo people electing the first woman as Navajo Nation Vice President, who's here with us tonight, the Honorable Rochelle Montoya. You're also going to meet 2 amazing Pride champions. The first Pride champion you'll get to meet is Sister Navajo, who currently serves on our board and is also affiliated with the Grand Canyon Rituals of Perpetual Indulgence and is an amazing community leader. In addition to that, you also get to meet Ms. AJ Ben, who's been doing a lot of work, especially this last 2 years as we fought this monster called COVID-19. AJ was there at the forefront, making sure that our members protect against the virus. But also they're doing health and promotion prevention work on behalf of our indigenous communities here in New Mexico. So I'll say congratulations to our Pride scholars, our Natani awardees, and our 2 Nasilid Rainbow Scholars. And to that, I'd like to introduce my dear friend who's going to provide our official welcome address this year, Dr. Wendy Gray Eyes. Hey, Wendy.
Good evening, and yat my relatives. Shea Wendy Goya is Yedishia, Twadich Ini Nishle, do Twadich Ini Bushes Chin, is a sudden dashe, do Twahanan Dashanella, Twadinesha Denasha. So I am so excited to join you guys this year for Navajo Pride event. It is so amazing to have Mr. Alray Nelson, his husband Brennan, and his supporters create such a beautiful and important celebration for our LGBTQIA plus relatives. So today begins the official opening ceremony for the Navajo Nation Pride event. Alray and his team have brought together an amazing set of events this week. This year, the theme is In Beauty We Are Here, Hajon Doleth. These are 2 words that have rich and deep meaning for the Dene people, which represents our selfless beauty as gay, lesbian, bisexual, transgender, and 2-spirit Indigenous peoples. So each year, it's evident that this event grows bigger and bigger, but it's clear we still have a long ways to go to support our LGBTQIA plus relatives. We especially saw this past year with the renewed push for the Equality in Marriage Act brought forth to the Navajo Nation Council. For me, as a Dene woman, I was shocked by the justification and rationale used to describe why this law should not pass within our Navajo Nation. There are continued misunderstandings and confusion about who our LGBTQIA relatives are and their rights as human beings. This antagonism is also being felt on a national level as we observe states banning certain books and materials in medical care, and those materials that are taught in classroom because they are believed to promote and condition children to become LGBTQIA+. There is a complete ignorance of who LGBTQIA+ people are. Even in our traditional stories, we've learned about the history of the Nagle and the role that LGBTQIA+ Navajos have played in helping all of our people survive and flourish from the monsters to our current realities now. So we must continue to challenge the outright violence and the passive aggressiveness towards our LGBTQIA relatives. When we publicly tell people that their love is not right or is not part of our traditional history, we are misinforming our young people and dismissing their own conception of what love is. If we repeatedly say something is not right, then we permit microaggressions against our own relatives. When I say microaggressions, these are statements that dismiss the lived experiences of our people. These microaggressions can lead to micro assault or even micro insults, meaning that statements and behaviors that convey bias or communicate negative attitudes towards our Navajo relatives, they hurt us. We know when these micro acts occur, they impact our self-esteem, they fuel anger and create division among our Navajo relatives. Because most time, if we respond to these microaggressions, we know that there are consequences for our safety, our job, our well-being. And in our Navajo communities, we are so small that it also affects our ability to find love. So we should not judge who we love. Finding love is already so challenging, and then to be judged by loving someone that doesn't align to this heteropatriarchic belief that it's simply that love should be between a man and a woman. This is not the society we want. That is not the society we're trying to create for our young people. That is not the society I wanted to create, because I believe in my education and I'm a teacher teaching and hoping that our relatives, that acceptance and love should be the only path towards our future as Navajo people. So we must demand from our leaders and community members that this is the future we want. So as our Navajo Nation Council in the future considers the possibility of the equality in Diné marriage, we recognize that our Navajo Nation Council also has a beautiful blend of LGBTQIA members, mothers, fathers, grandparents, medicine people, lawyers, doctors, professors, farmers, ranchers, and artists. I believe that in our next session, we have to support the vote for the passage of the Diné Marriage Equality Act. Just as we recognize the diversity in our wonderful council, we are excited by this new energy and positivity towards our future. So in closing, I wanted to announce some of the activities this week. After me, we will have the Natsip Rainbow Scholars, the Nat'ani Leadership Honorees, and Diné Pride Champions of 2023. And then on Friday, Navajo Pride will host the We Are Sacred drag show at the Council Chambers in Window Rock from 6:30 to 9 p.m. On this day, there will be guest speakers and the Pride Proclamation signing. And this event is being hosted by Tomahawk Martini. So Saturday is the Pride Parade, where the event begins at the Navajo Nation Museum parking lot and goes to the council chambers at 10 a.m. So everybody's welcome, and it does look like there's still some vendor spots available. So also on Saturday, at the conclusion of the Pride Parade, there is a One Nation Festival and Market at Veterans Memorial Park from 1 to 4 p.m. and the gates do open at 12 noon. There will also be drag entertainers, guest speakers, information booths, food trucks, and more. And there is a $5 admission. Then on Saturday evening, there is the We Are One after party at El Moro Theater in Gallup, New Mexico from 7 to 9 p.m. And there is a $15 admission. So as you can see, there's a lot of great events for this week, and we hope you're able to join. So enjoy Navajo Pride.
Thank you so much for that, my sister Wendy, Dr. Gray Eyes, for your leadership and for being a staunch advocate and ally for our LGBTQIA relatives here on the Navajo Nation. Now we're going to bring in a couple of perspectives from our Nas Elid Rainbow Pride Scholars who are here with us tonight from their respective universities and communities. First, let me go ahead and introduce my dear sister, Miss Vinika Hosky. And Miss Vinika was a 2022 Pride Scholar, and she'd like to share a few words before we bring on our other two 2023 scholars. Hey, Vinika.
That's A. How are you?
Hey.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. It's good to see you.
Great. Hi, hello. Hello, everybody. Beniko Hosky Inishre, Bilagana Dene Inishre, Nakai Dene Bashichin, Bilagana Dene Dashiche, Dishche Dene Dashidnali. I'm currently in a Navajo culture class, so I just learned that. So that was my first public appearance of introducing myself in my Navajo culture.
Thank you for that, Vinika. And then could you share with us and the viewers a little bit about where you at from last year? And you were one of two people, you were our undergraduate scholar for Dene Pride last year. Can you share a little bit more about that story?
Yeah, of course. This time last year, I was actually at Harvard Medical School, Brigham and Women's with the 4Direction Summer Research Program with a large cohort of mine. I was specifically doing spinal embryonic research with Dr. Tabin at HMS, so that was amazing. I was encouraged to apply to the scholarship whenever Alray messaged me, and I did, and I got it, and I had this wonderful opportunity to talk to all of you guys. So
great. And then Vinika, is there any great advice you'd like to give to our new two scholars this year?
Yeah, I don't know where you guys are in the process, but an introduction. Sorry. I don't know where you guys are in this process, but keep going wherever you're going, whether that's whatever that looks like. I didn't feel comfortable introducing myself as a woman that represented Pride and the Navajo Nation and stuff. I had a really hard time kind of approaching that part of my culture, and I've been embracing that a lot in the past year. It's been really, really eye-opening and really amazing for me to take all of my family and all the people that I love and have that opportunity to kind of shape that into something that is medicine, and it's school and it's education and things like that. So it's nice to be able to just have pride in yourself, not only with like your sexuality, but with education and something, a trade school, anything that you're interested in. Just keep it going. Just keep going and be motivated enough to speak up for yourself.
Like that. And thank you for that, Vinika. And I guess the last question I have is, what does Pride mean to you now today?
Pride today is a lot of different things now. It means that I have a bigger family. It means that I have a lot more confidence in myself. I find introducing myself as a lesbian and as Dene and all of these really important features and key characteristics of my life. I feel more comfortable introducing myself everywhere. So that's really nice. Just being confident and knowing that I am great and that I like have really good family members and love around me. So just to embrace it.
Thank you so much for that, Vinika. So Vinika, I would like you to join me as we welcome this year's 2023 Dene Pride Scholars. I'm now going to go bring on Kyle and Ariel. Hey, Kyle. Hey, Ariel.
Hi, Alray. Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Hey, so Kyle, before I go over to Ariel, so everyone, ladies and gentlemen, this is Kyle, and he is our graduate student scholar this year. Then Ariel James here is also our undergraduate student. So Vinika, thank you so much for joining us tonight. We wish you nothing but the best of luck with everything you're doing on your journey moving forward. And on behalf of our Dene LGBTQ community, we send love to you and prayers of protection and say thank you for everything you're doing for our people. So now let me go ahead and our scholars, I'm going to go ahead and take off my video here so you can all hear me. There we go. So Kyle, introduce yourself. Let us know a little bit more about you.
Well, hello, everyone. Yat A. My name is Kyle White. Kiani Nishlan, not Otene, Tachini Bashichin, Deshini Dachachedo, Tulhana Dashanella, Distuza Najikis Dat Nasha. Again, my name is Kyle White. I come from Crown Point, New Mexico. Last fall, I graduated from Navajo Technical University with a bachelor's in biology. And this upcoming fall, I'll be at the University of New Mexico. I was admitted to the Masters of Public Health cohort of 2023. And my focus there will be epidemiology, specifically in Navajo diabetes, nutrition and health, and really focusing on food sovereignty work. So yeah, that's me. Thank you again for this wonderful opportunity of the Nut Elis Scholarship.
Thank you for that, Kyle. Ariel, let us know more about yourself as well.
Hello, everybody. My name's Ariel James. My clans are Hatui Nishnu, Tatnazani Bashishchi, Tuaglini Dashiche, Tachini Dashanele. I'm from Standing Rock, New Mexico. I used to go to Crown Point High School, but I transferred my sophomore year. I graduated May 18th from Valley High School here in Albuquerque, New Mexico. My dream work is welding. I really want to become a offshore pipe rig welder. And I am very thankful for receiving this scholarship. And I'm a little nervous, but yeah, so thank you.
I appreciate that. Thank you, Ariel, and to Kyle for taking the initiative over the course of the last month when we launched this online scholarship application, and for signing up and putting yourselves out there, sharing with our scholarship committee more about your leadership and your life and what you have done to work to get to this point in your journey. Let me give you for both of you another question. For Kyle, I know that one of the key things I was reading from your application is this component of what it means to be Dene, honoring language and culture, but also honing on to our knowledge of the importance of being Dene LGBTQ. Can you share a little bit more about just your experience and what it means to be someone that's open, proud, to be who they are, and what does that look like for maybe that young student that's in high school right now that would like to apply for the scholarship next year?
Yeah, for me, language, culture, being for me like gay and proud. Well, first of all, I am a parent, unexpected parent, because my mom actually passed away like anniversary of 2 years, and I'm currently taking care of my sisters. So that idea of family is different, and I'm very proud to take care of them along with my partner. And him and I are actually married of almost 3 years now. So
Great.
thank you. So that whole idea of family is very important to me. And with my family back in Crown Point, they're very accepting of that. And then along with language and identity and my work in Indigenous food sovereignty, all of that is close to my heart. And I would like to thank Gloria Begay and the entire Navajo Community Health Outreach Program, along with Community Outreach and Peace and Empowerment. And those were the people that actually inspired me to focus in public health and really address the food issues happening on the Navajo Nation. And one of my, I guess, like biggest quotes that I live by is that there's no sovereignty without food sovereignty. And a little advice for the scholars that will eventually apply for the Nat'ila scholarship, I would say be proud of who you are, really embrace that, and hold on to your language, your culture, tradition, and yeah, that's basically it.
I really appreciate that, Kyle. And I guess the same question is similar to you, Ariel. I know that as part of your application, you shared a lot about what the significance of the LGBTQ movement is for Navajo people. Can you share a little bit more about I guess you just your knowledge and your teachings as well?
Well, pride to me is very important. I came out to my family a few years ago. It was kind of hard, but they were very accepting.
Mm-hmm.
And I think my language is very important to me. I actually used to be a princess when I was a lot younger, so I really connected to a lot of people when I was younger. Talking to everybody on stage, learning new things from people and getting their different perspectives on things really helped me become more open-minded as a person. And yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for the Ariel, and I completely agree with you. And also, congratulations for being with your partner for that many years as well, Kyle. I know that one of the key things that Diné Pride and Diné Equality has been working towards is pushing forward our Equality Act, and I feel like the Navajo people took a position this last election year to say that we want a more progressive Navajo Nation Council, but also in addition to that, electing our youngest president in history, and electing from there as well the Diné woman to serve as our vice president, and also a diverse coalition of women in our first speaker of the Navajo Nation Council. And the reason why I highlight their stories, rather, is President Boo Nygren, Vice President Rochelle Montoya, our Speaker Chrislyn Curley, and all our delegates and our co-founder and our former executive director, Dr. Andrew Nez, who now proudly serves as a member of the Navajo Nation Council. These Navajo leaders are coming out to say that they support Diné Pride. They have our backs, and they're going to show it through action. But that comes back down to my last question for both of you. So Kyle, where do you see yourself like within the next 2 years from now, and utilizing this scholarship to achieve your educational goals?
2 years from now, I see myself completing my master's in public health and really continuing the work of food sovereignty. I really want to work for the U.S. Department of Agriculture, or either Center of Disease Control, and really drive in the narrative of tribal food sovereignty and what that means, and really go down to the roots of the younger generation, maybe with like the Head Start programs, because I forgot to mention with my work with Diné Food Sovereignty Alliance and Gloria Bigay's program, that's what we're actually doing, and changing the food curriculums, and really driving forward that idea of, traditional foods are a way of keeping yourself healthy, and uplifting those traditional knowledges from food. And what was your other question again?
Yeah,
Sorry.
no, and just your plan in 2 years. Like, where do you see yourself in 2 years utilizing the scholarship for your?
Yeah, and utilizing this scholarship, grad school is very expensive, and I'm very honored to be a recipient. That was one of my main, I guess, like fears of grad school, like how expensive it will be. So utilizing the scholarship will definitely help me in the long run, and eventually help me, get my degree and further pursue like my biggest goal of, implementing more healthy foods on the Navajo Nation.
I love that. I think that's very important, and especially having more of our Diné people represented in those type of professional spaces, and knowing that you coming as a Pride scholar and moving forward makes me and everyone proud. So thank you for that, Kyle. Ariel, I guess the other question I have for you is like, where do you see yourself in 2 years and utilizing this scholarship? I assume, of course, perhaps getting your education in the welding field, but also, of course, working on those oil rigs, as you mentioned. I think that's really unique, especially for Diné women, to say, I'm going to do this and go into a field that a professionalism where it's predominantly dominated by men. And we kind of shared that last night during our Diné Pride board meeting when we spoke to you. But it's fascinating to me, and I think a lot of people are interested in hearing more about that.
Well, where I see myself in 2 years, hopefully getting my welding certification at Lincoln Tech. I really be on the road in 2 years. There's not much Indigenous women in trade, and I would like to teach people around the world about culture. And I'm really, really hoping to come back to the Navajo Nation and speak out to people. Like I mentioned in my application, I wanted to be like a public speaker. I want to educate the old and the young about LGBT. There's not much information about it, which I can see or which I can find. So I would like to educate a lot of young and old people about what it is to be prideful and to honestly help, give a helping hand. Yeah.
I love that. And so in terms of last comments, Kyle, is there anything you'd like to share with everyone tonight? Any last words?
Final words, I would just like to say happy Pride. Enjoy the rest of your Pride Month and be who you are, be proud of it. And hopefully you all come out to the events this week and throughout the weekend. Thank you all.
Hey, thank you for that, Kyle. Ariel?
My final comments would be who you are, be yourself. Don't be afraid of what people might think. I know words are hard, but it's always best to be yourself. You don't know what would happen. You don't know what opportunities would come. Nice thing is, if you're going out for Pride events, please be careful. Yeah.
Yay, thank you for that. So to all of our viewers and to the Navajo people that are tuning in tonight across the country, I'd like to now introduce you to our 2023 Nasilid Rainbow College Scholars, the amazing and fabulous Ariel James and the fabulous Kyle White. Congratulations to you both, and I'll be in touch in terms of how we work together to get that money to you and to your schools, and for you guys to continue your educational journey. And on behalf of our LGBTQ relatives, we wish you nothing but love. We send protection prayers and say thank you, yeah, for your leadership. And we look forward to seeing the great things you both will be doing for our people. You have a good night, Kyle. Okay, everybody. So now we're going to transition over to another component of some people you get to meet tonight. Every year, Diné Pride selects 4 leaders. They are receiving the Natani Leadership Award. Our Natani leadership, of course, Natani means leadership in Navajo. Someone that provides direction and provides balance in our harmony as a community. And so we selected 4 individuals that we're going to hear a little bit more about their story, where they've come from, and what makes them who they are, and how they continue to lead in various different ways. Rather, that is, being the vice president of the largest sovereign nation in the country, or rather, that's actually being one of the founders of a nonprofit organization, or serving even as an executive director. So now I'd like to bring in 3 individuals with us tonight that share a little bit more about their journey, and for you to all to meet them. So now first I'd like to go ahead and introduce Ms. Vonda. And Vonda works directly with Wallapai Pride. It's the first time ever that Diné Pride actually is uplifting another Pride organization from another tribal nation. And we're always proud of the fact that a lot of other tribes have reached out to us, asking for mentorship, asking for support, asking for assistance and help to basically lift their own tribal nations up and to replicate exactly what Diné Pride did to become what we are today as an organization. So now I'd like to bring in Ms. Vonda so she can say hello to everybody. And she joined us from the sovereign nation and the land of our Wallapai nation and from Wallapai Pride. Hey, Vonda, want to introduce yourself to everybody? Say hello.
Kamiche. Hi, everyone. My name is Vonda Beecher, and I'm tuning in from the Wallapai Nation in Peach Springs, Arizona. So thanks for having me, everyone. It's a real honor.
Yay, thank you for that, Vonda. So now I'll bring it back shortly. I'm going to go ahead and bring in our other 2 Natani honorees. So now let's go ahead and say hello to JC, who is a coordinator / director that's working directly for Project Rainbow. Project Rainbow has been nothing but an amazing supporter through the leadership of Lucas and his other friends out of Salt Lake City. She probably can share a little bit more about the journey that Project Rainbow had to do in Salt Lake and Utah, in a very Mormon conservative state, to really show as much pride as you can. And Project Rainbow actually places our pride flags and the flag that represents our LGBTQIA relatives all across the state during the month of June. And I'm really honored that this year they're joining us as a Natani honoree. I want to say hello to you, JC, and introduce yourself. Hi.
Hi. It is such an honor to be here. Thank you for having me. Again, I'm JC, she, they pronouns, and my puppies are coming to join me. I'm the executive director at Project Rainbow, and just happy to be here. Is there something I'm forgetting?
Hey, JC, no, just to say hello real quick, and I'm going to bring you on as a
perfect
panel conversation. Now, I would like to go ahead and introduce the first woman to be elected as vice president of the Navajo Nation. She recently just returned from New York City, receiving an award for her leadership. I know Vice President Montoya pretty well, and she's an amazing mother, amazing grandmother, and amazing matriarch leader for our people. I'd like to now introduce the Vice President of the Navajo Nation, the Honorable Rochelle Montoya. Hello, Vice President.
Good afternoon, Yad Eshiyash.
Vice President, want to introduce yourself?
Yad everyone. My name is Rochelle Montoya. Hashlesh slot khatnesani ebashichin, ketlachini dashache, tchachini edashanale, not nail jean da enasha. Aro bilkin shnani eya olsen chi wilya. Aron khatchine eya kona hastan bakagi hashla halo. Arot asa eyan hits bagad handit e. So yat though he had long korosha ho agi.
Yay, Vice President, good to see you here, ma'am. And so in addition to the Vice President, the other scholar, she actually got called out. And she works with the Navajo Nation's emergency medical services. She's an EMS personnel. So she's on the front line. She's a frontline worker. Her name's the amazing Mariah Lizer. So Mariah, if you're watching, you're out there on your call in the ambulance, I want to say hello and sending love to you and thank you for your leadership. And we look forward to seeing you speak live during our event at Diné Pride this coming weekend. Mariah, a little bit about her is that she served with Diné Pride for several years now as a board member, but also as a volunteer. In addition to that work, she was actually the first veteran to raise the LGBTQ Pride rainbow flag at the capital of the Navajo Nation 3 years ago, when it never happened before. And our board chose her as a veteran to also raise that flag in honor of all of our LGBTQ warriors that are serving and our veterans are serving in the military today. So thank you so much, Mariah, sending love to you. Now I'm going to go bring back in all of our 3 individuals, our Natani honorees, and let's just ask a little bit more so you all hear a little bit more about their stories and what they've been doing for their community. So I'm gonna bring everyone back in here. Okay, so Miss Vonda, let us know a little more about your pride and what's going on there in your tribal nation. I know that you guys just completed a month-long of events that I saw publicized, and I know that it's a kind of an amazing story. So I want to just hear more about that, share with our viewers and our listeners more about Hualapai Pride.
Okay, so we're a very new organization. We're barely in our first year. This organization's been a long time coming. I just never really had the confidence to get it started. And last year, right before Pride Month, I had 2 individuals come up and give me a little pep talk and say they have my back. And that's all it took, was I needed someone to, support me, someone to make me have that confidence to go ahead and push forward with forming this organization. So here we are 1 year later, we're in year 2. And we're just really new. We do have a big gay community in Peach Springs, and it's a very conservative community that we come from. And it's a little bit of a struggle. But on the plus side of it all, I see a lot of people coming out of their shell, especially the kids. I see them being a little bit more comfortable and having that confidence in being who they are and loving who they want to love. And so I think it's worth every ounce of effort we put into it if it's having a positive effect on the community and the kids. So it's new, and I'm just really honored to even be in here with you guys to talk about Hualapai Pride. So thank you.
Thank you so much for that, Wanda. And let's go to you, JC. Can you share with us, from your perspective, a little bit more about the amazing work that you're doing as executive director for Project Rainbow Utah?
Yeah, so Project Rainbow, we were founded 5 years ago, and we represent all Utahns that identify on the LGBTQ spectrum. And so, we from all walks of life, all intersectionalities, we're here to help reduce stigma and discrimination that our community faces. And it's great and so great to hear about Navajo Nation and the progress that's been made in becoming more progressive. Unfortunately, Utah is not the case. We've faced an onslaught of legislation nationally and in here in the state of Utah, where we're rolling back the progress that we've made. And so over 500 bills have been introduced across state legislatures, and that are targeting specifically trans youth. So it's deplorable that it's happening. Governor Cox had at one point supported trans youth last year for one bill, and was the first state, sadly, to author or to pass legislation that banned trans healthcare for transgender youth. So our work has become substantially more important to show community members, especially our trans youth, that they're supported and loved by the simple act of posting a flag that's basically leased in your yard. And all those proceeds that we raise from these flags go to our community grant fund that we've raised over $250,000 in our 5 years of existence that go back to our community. And so my kids just participated in Rock Camp SLC, which holds space for trans, non-binary, and gender expansive youth this last Saturday, who was an honoree, and they received money to support scholarships for youth participating in it. And so those are one of the many ways that we expand community resources and programs to let our rural Utahns and Utahns, and I shouldn't just say Utahns, but individuals in this land that is First Nations, that we support and let them know that they are loved, seen, and valid. And so we look forward to continuing that impact in novel and unique ways. And so happy to be here, and thankful that Alray is able to help. I had a family emergency that I couldn't deliver flags personally, and we're figuring out a workaround, which is often what we do at Project Rainbow, to make sure those flags go up and are displayed proudly, to show that support and love.
Thank you so much for that, JC, and for your leadership and working with Lucas and the whole team there in Salt Lake City. And every year, everyone always talks about the organization that put up all the rainbow flags and the trans flags along that highway that leads towards the Window Rock Monument and the Navajo Nation Council chambers. And so everyone that wants to know, this is the individuals that have been doing that for us every year, and our plans to do the same thing again this year. So Chasey, to you, Lucas, and everyone there, congratulations for being a recipient of our Nantani Leadership Award this year. Now let's go and transition over now to a conversation with our Vice President. I know Vice President Montoya, you've always been an ally, an advocate for our LGBTQ relatives. Where do you foresee, our nation going under your leadership and others for our community?
Hi. Yes, always and forever will be in favor of anybody that is wanting to live a positive, harmonious life on this Mother Earth. That's all we've ever taught our children, my husband and I, that nobody's any different. We're all human, and we all want to be here on this earth to cohabitate in a good, positive way. And it doesn't matter who you love, how you pray, who you pray to. That's just teaching that I've been brought up with since I can remember. As far as the Navajo Nation, I feel that we are getting towards this area in our lives where we are all thinking that way, that we're here together, we need to be here together. One of the things that I continuously talk about is how we listen to individuals that say that it takes a village to raise a child. Well, it also takes that village to continuously bring harmony to the communities. and we are just one huge village. And we are not here to judge one another. We're not here to speak ill of one another. We're here to uplift one another. We're here to continuously be here together. And we need to be respectful of one another every day and every moment of our lives. And I see that happening across Navajo Nation. And that really has nothing to do with our Navajo Nation government. It's our Navajo Nation people. They love, we love, and as long as that is happening, then it will be something that we will have here on the Navajo Nation.
Thank you for that, Vice President, for sharing those words of wisdom as well with us. Vonda, what can you tell us a little bit more about? Like, what are some of the things that your tribal nation had to deal with when it comes to what it means to be LGBTQ and really pushing your event forward? Because at the very beginning in 2017, when Dr. Nez and we had this idea of creating a pride organization that would be held every June, where we highlight the voices and the history and to reclaim those spaces of the Navajo Nation, especially within the government. And we've come so far to where we are today. Can you share with our listeners and our viewers a little bit more about that experience with what's happening there on your tribal lands when it comes to the acceptance of our LGBTQ relatives? Okay, Ms. Vonda, let me unmute your mic. There you go.
Hi, El Rey. We're breaking up really bad on this side. Could you repeat that again?
Yes, definitely. The question is basically, with your tribal nation, can you share with us a little bit more about like how is your government and how is your people? How is that looking like for you guys when it comes to their approach to your organization as an LGBTQ serving one?
It's buffering. I'm sorry. I think we have bad reception on this side. As far as the acceptance goes, because we're such a new organization and we're starting to barely get ourselves out there, we did have our first sit down with our Wallapai Tribal Council, and it went really well. I was really surprised. They were really accepting, and I did see some allies on our tribal council, and so that was exciting. We definitely have that support from some key members on council, and then of course the various departments within the tribe are very supportive of us. And as long as we have that, community support, I think it's only going to make our organization stronger and bigger. And I see people constantly asking questions, wanting to know how they can be involved. And so that's exciting. It shows that there's definitely growth, and it's going to continue to grow. And it's going to help the gay community in Peach Springs to feel safer. I think one of the mottos I always like to say is, make Wallapai safer for everyone. And when I say that, I mean that especially for all of our gay brothers and sisters in our community.
Thank you so much for that, Vonda. So let's go ahead and go towards the end of this conversation. For you, JC, is there any type of last like words or notes you want to provide to our viewers or listeners tonight, especially when this particular opening ceremony in the past, we've received a bunch of kudos, but thousands of viewers, even those that cannot make it here on the live event, have listened and tuned in at other times throughout the year to hear a little bit more of words of wisdom for those that we selected as leaders. Is there any last or final words you want to share with everyone tonight for Pride?
When you intimidate me when you say words of wisdom. But it's been a really difficult year as a trans woman and a mother of trans children. And I think the important thing, the lesson that I keep being taught through these experiences is the most important thing we can do is lean in to community. We had the privilege of marching in one of the largest pride parades this summer, and we had this big sign that someone had gifted to one of our flag hosts that had their flag stolen, and they had spray painted this sign that just said, "Know that you are loved." And when you're surrounded by community who doesn't make space, take or allow you to take space, it's hard to feel that love. And when we're surrounding ourselves with these gorgeous pride events, that's where we're reminded of our power. And I'm reminded of how I'm learning right now how much history and the giant shoulders that I stand on of my ancestors, and the lessons I'm learning from some books that I've been reading of like how powerful two-spirit individuals have been along history, how that was erased through colonialism, and how we're returning to those stories and understandings of the power that we've had since the dawn of civilization. And so this is a time for us to celebrate our community and our strength and our resilience. And the best way to do that is to lean in to those who love and support us, and whoever's got that flag. Flying in the yard, always find comfort knowing that they're part of your team.
Thank you so much for that, JC. I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to you, Vonda, if you have any words of wisdom or last feelings you want to share about Pride.
I'm a little bit at loss for words, kind of like JC said. I've never been one to think I can give much words of wisdom. But I would just like to say that I think the work that all of us are doing, when we stand up for our rights, there's a little kid watching us saying, wow, look at that person, not afraid of who they are and who they love. When I was younger, I wish, I had that support, someone like me to stand up. So, if there's anything I think any of us can do is just keep doing the work we're doing, keep fighting the good fight. And in the long run, it's going to pay off. So I'm just, thrilled to be here and thrilled to share with everyone and hear your stories and learn from you guys on the good work that you're doing out there for the LGBTQ community in Indian country. So thank you.
Yay, Vonda. I'm so happy to see you here, and we look forward to seeing you this weekend as well in person. Same question to you, Honorable Madam Vice President.
Oh, thank you, Yash. I just want to say that you come across people on this journey that I'm on as Vice President of the Navajo Nation. Oh, we don't think that we're making a difference by just saying hello, by just opening your arms and giving a hug, but that means a lot to a lot of people. And I want to share this story that I went to an event and this young girl asked me, I was asking them, what are your questions? What do you want to ask me? And they just asked me from, what's your favorite color? What's your favorite food? Do you talk to Boo Nigrin every day? And just a bunch of different questions. And after the question period was over, this young lady walked up to me and she asked me how I felt about LGBTQ. And I just let her know that, we're all human. We all need to live. Basically what I said a little bit earlier. So she gave me a hug. And as she gave me a hug, she told me that she said, I think I'm gay. And at first it really threw me because I didn't know how to respond to that, because obviously it was the first time, or maybe the first time she was telling an adult that. And I just let her know that she's okay, that it's fine, that whatever she's feeling, she's okay. And I just told her, be the best you can be, and always be kind and always be loving. And I just told her if she ever needed to talk, to give me a call, or my assistant at the office a call. I gave her my card, and she just told me, thank you for not getting mad at me, she said. And I just was surprised that that was still a reaction, because in my home and within my family, we are always thoughtful of what we say to an individual when this type of conversation happens. And so I just want to tell everybody out there, be kind. Be kind, be understanding. This is not about you and what you feel. This is about what this feel, and that they feel safe enough to express themselves to you in that way. And so please be kind, everyone, and let's all get through this life together in a good way.
Yeah, that's awesome, Vice President. Thank you so much for that. And to all of our Natani awardees and to Mariah as well. I couldn't be here tonight. She got called out on a calls an EMS worker and a frontline worker. So we send love to you, Mariah, and we look forward to hearing you this coming weekend. And as well to Ms. Vonda, to the Vice President, to JC. Congratulations on behalf of our Diné LGBT community. And we'll look forward to getting you your award shortly, okay? Other than that, you guys have a good night, and I'm going to go ahead and transition now over to this year's 2023 Pride Champions. You have a good night. So now, everybody, we have two amazing community leaders that have been here, working really hard day in and day out, being advocates and being people that stand up for those that may not have a voice. Two individuals that have gone beyond the call of duty to ensure that they're there for all of us, especially during a dark time when we are coming out of this pandemic together. First, I'd like to introduce the amazing Miss Sister Navajo, also on the board of directors for Navajo Nation Pride. That's her first year, but in addition to that, has always been affiliated with the Grand Canyon System of Perpetual Indulgence. Hi, sister.
Hi, how are you doing?
Hi. I love it. So Navajo, can you introduce yourself to everybody?
Oh yeah, sure. Hello everybody. Yat Esh Kedo Shadana Navajo Chef. This is Sana Inshne. My deshkishni was chin. Tatnasani Dashiche and Pitani Dashanele. So hello everybody. I'm Navajo. I'm from the Grand Canyon Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence here in Phoenix, Arizona. And yes, I am so honored to be here.
And we are honored to have you here, Navajo, and for your leadership and also serving this past year on our board of directors as we get this event planned within the next couple of days. Let me go ahead and bring on now the amazing AJ Ben. Let me see this, AJ. AJ, if you can hear me, you need to connect your mic/cam, and I can bring you on. So as AJ is having a little bit of technical difficulties, everybody, we'll go ahead and have a conversation with our Pride Scholar. What does this award mean to you, Miho?
Well, this award is it was one of the awards from when I first heard about the different awards that Diné Pride gave out. I was like, I so want one of these awards. I think this would be a great cherry on top of my my blue corn mush. But it's just been amazing, and seeing so many people get this award in previous years and seeing them excel in what they're doing within their community. I look up to them, and look, I'm here, so that just makes it even better.
I love that. And one of the things, Navajo, as part of the conversation I really wanted to have with you tonight, is I know that you want to share a little bit more about your experiences, because as we all know around the country, and especially in conservatives like Florida and the South, they are legislating against our community. They're coming for us, as I always say, and we always have to remain vigilant. And they're also looking at taking out Pride. A lot of states have actually canceled the Pride events because of fear of the safety of the community. But in addition to that, they're also going after drag entertainers. And as we all know, since the beginning in time immemorial, to be LGBTQ and Diné, you were revered. You were a sacred human being. Being gay, lesbian, bisexual, trans, there's the words in Navajo that have always existed to describe us and who we are. So we've always been here. We are part of the language. In addition to that, we're a part of the family. We have our clans, we have 5 fingers, and we continue to try to live our lives the way that the Creator and the holy people planned for us to do. But on that note, our drag entertainers are getting attacked. And they're saying drag queens can't be reading to kids in libraries. They're also saying that drag queens cannot be hosting shows for various different reasons, and they're legislating in the process of doing that. And it's kind of scary. And I know that there's a lot of pride organizations that decide not to have their events because of fear for their lives and threats that were made against those communities. So instead, and I always say this, that our Navajo leaders need to use our sovereignty to protect us from hate, from bigotry. Our Navajo leaders must use Navajo Nation laws and our tribal codes to protect our people against that type of violence and that type of hate. So on that note, with you, Navajo, can you share a little bit more about that experience and what your thoughts are in regards to, drag being attacked?
Well, with my experience, I mean, I've not been attacked, but I mean, if I look like this, some people just wonder, what's that? But, I had a conversation with somebody earlier today, and they were talking about how here in Arizona, our governor, Katie Hobbs, just vetoed the bills that are affecting the drag community. And she wanted to know my thoughts on it. And I said, well, looking at it, I just think that these are just hateful bills. These are hateful attacks against the LGBT Two-Spirit community because they just don't want it. I mean, they see the praise, the different things that happen to drag queens and our drag performers actually, and you see things like RuPaul's Drag Race, how mainstream it became. You see them in different genres, different kind of shows and things like that. And it's just another jab from the other people to try to come at us. And they don't really understand that there are people within the drag community that this is their livelihood. This is what they do. This is who they are. And this pays their bills. Am I going to go attack a CEO because I don't agree with their thinking because I don't like them or whatever? No, I'm not, because that is their money. And in this economy, it's not the greatest thing to be like have no money because everything's getting expensive. But that is one of my worries within the community is every time I go out, whether I go out like this or I go out and drag, is who am I gonna connect with and that could possibly hurt me? And I fear for all my drag performers out there that are friends and family because you just don't know. You never know what's going to be. However, come to think about it, you think about Stonewall, you think about things of gay liberation that happened. Drag queens and transgender individuals were front runners. They were there. They were the ones that started this whole thing. And it's like, I think about that, but I also think about my safety. I was just at Flat Cat Pride and I was just watchful everywhere. And that you shouldn't be like that, but that's just what we do. And when you come to those that want to, attack, say, oh, well, we're trying to protect the kids. From what? Glitter? You look at that, many of the kids are just in awe of what we're doing within our communities, and they're amazed. And you know what? I feel as a drag performer that I dress like this so I can tell them, you can be you. You can be amazing. You can be beautiful in any way. You could be our authentic self. You don't need a reason. You don't need to hide behind things. Just come out and just be you. And I feel that's what we do as performers. And unfortunately, they want to hate on us. So,
thank you for that, Navajo, and that makes me come back down to just you. Can you share with us a little bit more about the work you've been doing with the Grand Canyon Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence? Why that's there? I know that there's a whole story behind it. I think that's beautiful and unique. And then also, what is all the makeup and everything? I know you said it took you 45 minutes to do this, to beat your face tonight, and it's beautiful. So I wanted to give you some time to talk a little bit about that, Navi.
Yeah, I am a part of an organization called the Grand Canyon Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence. And the organization itself is called the Sister of Perpetual Indulgence. And you might have seen them on the news recently in regards to the LA Dodgers and Matt DeSantis or somebody over in Florida was trying to hate on us there too. But we are an organization of We call ourselves dragnets. We go out to the community, spread love and joy, and expiate stigmatic guilt. Stigmatic guilt is the guilt that society puts on you for being you. We want you to be free. We want you to be yourself. And we want you to have fun and just love life. And I've been with the organization since 2010. I'm now considered a cardinal sister because I think I'm in my 13th year of being a sister. And it's just an amazing organization that we go out to the community, not only to spread love and joy, but we also fundraise for different organizations within well, for me, it will be within Arizona. But we're there to show people that you are beautiful, you are amazing. So keep being yourself. And not only am I part of that organization, I guess I like to call myself the community hub because I'm everywhere. I'm also part of an organization called the Imperial Court of Arizona, which I am the first elected Empress of Arizona in 2014, and I'm the first elected Empress that is Navajo or Native American within Arizona to be elected by my peers here in Arizona. So I reigned with them. I had an amazing emperor, and we raised money for many organizations within here. And just like the sisters, they started before the sisters, I think. I think it was 4 years before the sisters. So the sisters started in 1979. So I want to say it started a little bit more than that. But they're one of the oldest organizations within the United States that has still been doing many great things within the community. And just to be a part of that legacy and to be a part of, as a Native American Diné two-spirit person, was amazing adventure for me. And, I don't know what else is next. You never know. I might be in the rodeo, the Arizona Gay Rodeo Association. We don't know. It's just busy. I'm busy, it seems like. But I love my community. I love helping out. My biggest joy is having that one person that comes up to you and says, I love your performance. I love you being here. You made my day. That makes everything else just fall to the wayside because that's why I'm here. I've always felt that there was a reason and there's a purpose of me being here on this earth, not only being a Nagle, not only being a caregiver for my community, but it's those little meaningful moments that we have in our community. They're just a true blessing. And I'm truly honored to be here and to be able to continue my work within our community, my ministry, I guess you would call it. And so, yeah.
I love that, Navajo, and I think that there's another component where it makes me think a lot about that work you've been doing, and I guess for those that are listening and our viewers, can you share with us a little more about like where did you get your start in being an entertainer? And the second question to that is like when did it first know that pride was important to you?
Well, pride was always important to me. Ever since I sat outside one of the first Phoenix Prides that we had out here, because I was so afraid to go in. The next year I ended up going with friends, and it was just amazing to see the joy, the love, the laughter, the togetherness within our community. And it was just, the pride was just that. It was my catapult into what I'm doing now. And I've always thought that on our Indigenous communities all over the place, that pride should be there. Pride should be celebrated. And when this came about, finding out that Navajo Nation has a pride, I was just like dumbfounded. I go, I still got to do this. And it just made it even better. And to find out when I was an entertainer, I've always liked to just listen. Music has been my go-to. Music has been my therapy. And I love listening to music and just being there. And I've seen many entertainers here in Phoenix and all over that I'm like, I wanted to do that. I sit there in the back row and I would, lip sync along the side of the songs. And a friend of mine was like, you need to be on stage. You need to do this. And I'm like, I don't know if I could do that. And she's like, you put on a dress, so I'm pretty sure you can do this. And it just kind of started from there. It started with the sisters because before that, I was just your Joe Schmo that was at an event. I didn't do anything within the community. I wasn't out in the community. And it all started in 2010. Everything started. I mean, I knew I was gay prior to that, but helping within my community, um, it didn't really start until then. So I I absolutely love it. I absolutely love entertaining for everybody. It brings joy to my life, and the girls here that anytime there's a show, I go, "What do you need? You need me to do something? You need me to be there?" I'm always gung ho. It's the biggest thing I probably would say is my not my strength, but I can't say no. I always just indulge with it and go with it because, again, it's always going to be that one person that I connect with that makes their day because I'm there or we're there. And it makes it worthwhile for what I'm doing.
I love that. Thank you so much, Navajo. As we go towards the end of tonight to ending our opening ceremony, I can't believe we're already to that point.
Mhm.
To all our
Yeah.
viewers and to everyone that's joining us around the world tonight for our virtual opening ceremony. Now, I would like to bring into the conversation really quickly because she has to get her shift report done before she departs. We are going to bring in now Miss Mariah Lizer and give her a couple minutes to say hello to everybody. Mariah, as you know, couldn't join us a couple of minutes ago because she was called out, but she's an EMS worker and a frontline worker, and I want to bring her in and introduce her to everybody. So I'll bring you back again, Navajo, and we'll also bring back AJ Ben. Hey, Mariah, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yay! Do you want to turn on your camera, or are you out in the field?
Maybe just a quick clip, because
Okay, that's completely fine. So Mariah, everyone can hear you. Can you go ahead and say hello? There you are. Hey.
Hi.
Mariah, we're sharing a little bit more about you and how not only did you serve our country in the U.S. military, but in addition to that, you were the first person to raise the pride flag on the Navajo Nation about 3 years ago in front of the Navajo Nation Council chambers. But with that honor in mind, I'm really just so glad to call you a friend and a sister and to say congratulations for receiving the Natani Award this year. Can you kind of say hello to everybody and introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi. Yeah, my name's Mariah Lizer. I'm Torichini Nishle, Hananahni Bashichin, Hastoy Dashchain Tachini Dashnale. And I reside in St. Michael's, and originally I'm from Standing Rock, but that's where I call my home, is in St. Michael's. Yep, right now I'm on shift. We just got called out moments ago, so we came back. And it's just been a busy day, but I'm so excited and to kickstart Pride Week.
Yay.
And yeah, and I did serve. I've served for about 5.5 years, and that was pretty. Not gonna lie, I liked it. I wish I could go back, but yeah, I started in the service when they still had that don't ask, don't tell. So it was pretty hard still trying to hide who I was and then just trying to continue my duties and everything. But it was a good experience. Oh yeah, and I was excited to raise that first flag on at council. That was pretty. That was really cool. And I think I lost the video actually.
I still have the video where I believe I have it somewhere. Yeah, I saved it.
Oh, okay, cool. But yeah, I'm just so happy, and thank you for nominating me as a champion. That's pretty cool. But
Thank you
yeah,
so much, Mariah.
I know, but unfortunately, I do have to go back to work. I have to finish my report and finish up my shift here. And as you can see, I'm in the back of the rig, so.
Yeah. And we appreciate you coming on, taking a couple of moments, Mariah, to introduce yourself. And we look forward to seeing you this coming weekend in Window Rock for our historic Pride events. You have a good night, Mariah. We'll see you.
Okay, we'll see ya. Bye.
Bye-bye. Everyone, that's Miss Mariah Lizer. She is our Natani honoree for this year. She joins 3 other amazing individuals, Miss Vonda from Hualapai Pride. You also have Vice President Rochelle Montoya, who's a recipient of the same award. In addition to that, we have JC, the Executive Director for Project Rainbow from Utah. So thank you all to our Natani honorees. Now I'm going to go ahead and bring back in AJ, who is our Pride champion that joins and shares that title this year. We only give 2 of them every year. One is for the amazing sister Navajo, and now we're going to bring on AJ. Hey, AJ, can you hear me?
Yes, can you? I know you can't see me. I'm having, I don't know why this is happening to me today, but at least I got the microphone working.
That's fine, and your screen is just black.
I know. I don't know
Don't be
what
shy, AJ.
I was trying to figure out how to get it on because it was telling me to load in without the mic, and I was like, no, let me have the mic and the camera. So I
Yeah.
don't know what I did wrong, but
You're fine.
I'm currently out in the field too because I'm doing street outreach here in Gallup. So I got your text at the last minute, so I wasn't aware that I was gonna have to be out tonight. So I'm really sorry about that, Alray.
That's okay.
Please forgive me about that. But I am really honored to be, named honored to be receiving this award. And I was caught off by surprise that I was even considered, or even that I was nominated or for doing the work that I'm doing, which I really love. But I'm really appreciative of it, and I'm looking forward to seeing everyone on Saturday.
Yay, and that's awesome, and we can't wait to see you as well, AJ. Before I let you go, because I know you're also still on call and doing community outreach work right now, that's kind of where the award originated from. Was we were saying we needed nominations. We need to find key leaders in the community that have always been there at the forefront. And we know that you worked directly with Navajo during COVID to receive donations from Albuquerque and from Phoenix. But in addition to that work, AJ, could you share with us a little bit more about what you actually do? And I know you work for First Nations Community Healthcare, and a former scholar is your coworker, the amazing and fabulous panda, Miss Maddie Jim, who received the same award as well about 3 years ago. So congratulations on joining her and so many others to be champions. But on that note, can you let us know a little bit more about what you do, AJ?
Yes. Here at First Nations Community Health Source, our main office is in Albuquerque, New Mexico. And then we have two satellite offices, one here in Gallup, and then the other one is in Farmington. So at our satellite offices, we do prevention and we do case management. I also work with another individual in Farmington, China Lapahi. She's also a prevention specialist. So basically, what our duties are to go out in the community, educate around HIV, STI, and hepatitis C. And then also we do rapid testing for individuals that want to come in and don't really want to wait a week to 2 weeks for the results. We're fortunate to have these test kits that will tell you within minutes what your results are. Again, those are the tests for HIV. And right now we're doing syphilis, rapid syphilis. And then also we're doing hepatitis C. I'm not too sure if many of you know, but the rates of syphilis are very high within the northern area of New Mexico and the southern part of Arizona. So we're fortunate enough to have these test kits to do within the community. And then also, we do get someone that is reactive. We try to get them into care as quickly as possible, because if you prolong it, there's a lot of symptoms that do happen that interfere with,
No, we hear you.
Yeah.
You're good.
Yeah, it interferes with your health. So that's the thing that's the reason why we go out, and that's what I do. And then also I do education around STIs, HIV, and hepatitis C as well in the community. With anyone that will welcome me and come in to do.
Thank you so much for that, AJ. And what's the best way that people can get in touch if they need that resources? How do they get in touch with you?
Oh, I'm located here at Cedar Hill Plaza in Gallup, New Mexico, and I can reach our office phone number at 505-863-8827. Give me a call if you want any kind of information, and we also give out free condoms, contraceptives, and then also Innovert condoms too as well. And it's all free. No questions asked. Just come in. The bowl's right there. Grab as much as you want and then leave. There's no interaction whatsoever. And if you have any questions regarding anything like that, feel free to ask for me, and I'll be more than happy to help you.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you, AJ. And my husband and I really appreciate your help all the time, especially during COVID, when we both get tested every quarter, every 6 months, just to ensure we know our status. And that's something that we learn by being students of Miss Maddie Jim and her, and how we talk about being proactive and making sure you oversee your healthcare, making sure that everything's good to go. So thank you so much, AJ, for your leadership and for being there at the front lines, especially during COVID, for our LGBTQ community. Congratulations on being a Pride champion this year. And then, AJ, is there any final words you want to share with our viewers and our listeners?
No, I mean, I really appreciate it. And, I do the work that I do because I love it. I've been doing it for a little over 20 years now. So, and then also, I really like to thank Sister Navajo that came out during the COVID pandemic and donated and all the supplies she um, gave to our offices here in Gallup and in Farmington for our clients and then also for the people that needed it. So I want to thank her and the sisters for donating and put that for us.
That's amazing. AJ, you're amazing. Sending love to you, sister. And we'll see you this coming weekend at our work events. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and let you go so you can get back to doing your work.
Okay, thank you. We'll see you guys. Bye.
Okay, Navajo, we're back now. So that's the final question I want to ask you is there any final thoughts, words of inspiration that you want to give to our viewers and our listeners, especially to that young LGBTQ kid that may watch this video or may be currently watching right now?
I kind of feel awkward. I feel like I should be at work since the other two are at work, but it is going to be work when I take this off. But yes, my final words is I am so honored that, to be a part of this organization for so long and to be a helper to make this great pride what it is, and to have, leadership like you and Brendan and Curtis and Shania and everybody else on the board and just work together to do such a great job that, there's people there at the festival that truly enjoy it and are very happy to see Pride being celebrated on Indigenous sovereign land. So I think that's great. And, I thank you all for your help. The message to the kids and the children and everybody that's younger than me, stay true to yourself. Be your authentic self and be unapologetic for being yourself. You deserve so much. And I am always here. You guys know that. Everybody knows that. But I am here, whether it's social media, whether it's on TikTok trying to dance, or doing anything that, within the community where I can help you in any way or push you towards, somewhere else that, resources that could be done. Like,
Navajo, are you there?
happiness matters, and you are a beautiful human being. You are amazing, and just continue to be you and reach, like I say, I guess like on Star Search, reach for the stars, because you never know what's going to be up there. You never know. You could be a drag queen. You could be a drag persona of some sort. You just never know. Did I ever think I would be this? No, I don't think that was in my yearbook. But I was just, it's where I fit in within my community and how I can help. And that's one thing you should know is that always go back to your community because they're going to be the ones that support you. Not everybody will support you, but you will have that family. Your chosen family will be there to be with you always and be your protector. So always remember that you are beautiful, you matter, I see you, and just keep being you.
Yay! Thank you so much, Navajo, for that inspirational message. And on behalf of the Navajo LGBTQ community across the country, we'd like to say congratulations to Miss AJ Ben and the fabulous Navajo for being selected as our 2 Pride champions this year. And I look forward to seeing your performances this coming weekend, Navajo, but also you joining us on Saturday to provide your acceptance speech when you do receive the award. On that note, everybody, let's say goodnight to Navajo. You have a good night, and we'll go ahead and transition now to the ending. Okay, everybody. So on behalf of the Dene Pride Board of Directors, our Deputy Director, Mr. Curtis Berry, our Finance Director, Mr. Brennan Yanni, and so many others on the Dene Pride Board, we want to say thank you for joining us for our one and only virtual event for this coming year and for this year for Dene Pride 2023. We look forward to seeing you first thing on Friday evening in front of the Navajo Nation Council chambers, where we actually will host our We Are One drag show, where we're actually going to have a proclamation signing with Navajo Nation President Boo Nygren, Vice President Rochelle Montoya, and Speaker of the Navajo Nation Council, Crystal and Curley, who will be there to actually declare the month of June moving forward as Dene Pride Month. In addition to that, we'll have many different drag entertainers that are nationally recognized and renowned award winners that will be providing entertainment in front of the council chambers with the lighting of the Window Rock Capitol in rainbow colors on Friday night. I'd like to say thank you so much to the 25th Navajo Nation Council for their continued support and their sponsorship to make sure that our Friday event is successful. And we still do have vendor and informational booth spaces available. Please go to our website, which you see down below right here, NavajoNationPride.com. Click on the links that take you to reserve a booth, and that's where you can actually provide your information, and there are still things that are open. A lot of you have asked about the parade that's happening on Saturday. There is no registration fee. There's no registration documents. We just tell you, as we always said, show up spontaneously, decorate a vehicle. If you want to do a float, go ahead and do a float. We confirmed that the Navajo Nation Band will actually be leading the charge this year, along with the Navajo Nation Department of Public Safety. Our Navajo police officers and our Navajo firefighters will be the leaders of the parade as we go and march down from the Navajo Nation Museum to the council chambers on Saturday morning, beginning at 9 o'clock. The parade will start at 10. So if you want to be a part of that, come on by and be part of it and show up with a decorated vehicle. Or even if you want to march with a pride flag, please do so. It's about a 1.5 mile march. In addition to that, that same day, we're going to open the gates at 12 noon. It's $5 admission, and it'll be right in front of the Navajo Nation President's office. We'd like to say thank you to the Office of the President, the Vice President, and the Executive Branch of the Navajo Nation Government for their continued support and sponsorship for this year's Dene Pride event. In addition to that, we'll have entertainers, we'll have speeches, we're going to have food vendors, food trucks, there'll be a swath of information there, a diverse swath of information for all of you to be a part of. And please come on out. These are all family-friendly events, and we look forward to welcoming your families here in Window Rock for this coming weekend. And if you want to join us that night, $15 admission, come meet us at El Moro Theater for our We Are One drag show, where there'll be the official closing ceremonies for Dene Pride 2023. Thank you so much to the board of directors. Thank you so much to our community, our gay, lesbian, bisexual, transgender, and two-spirit relatives for continuing to believe in me to serve as a leader for Dene Pride, to continue to select me to serve as your executive director the last 5 years. And as we look into the future together, we understand that we've come together as sacred together, stronger than before, after we worked to defeat this pandemic and to defeat COVID-19. We went through that journey together, and now we're at a point in time where we say, Dene Pride, it's okay to be who you are. To that young person listening right now, the Yingo Adasi case is what we say, Hajodo Leth as well. That means you are always a sacred human beings in the eyes before our holy people and the Navajo people. Thank you all so much tonight for joining us. May you all have a good night. Hagonat.